So why do you guys continue on hunting if it took so much work to get one loyal girl?
He just explained it.
You know, let's do the candy store analogy.
Okay.
We'll go back in time here, because if you guys don't get this, then I don't know what to tell you. Just like
I get it.
No. We're gonna do an analogy so you guys understand this shit. Okay, it's been a while since I've told this story, but I'll tell this story. Okay. So yeah, it's been a really long time. So ladies, let's go into a dream world real fast, right? I want you guys to imagine. There's a candy store. All right.
What does that mean? Bring back slut shaming. What does that mean?
It means we need to have social conventions in place to dissuade women from being promiscuous.
What's wrong with women being promiscuous?
Well, there's a lot of things that are wrong with it. Can
you tell me a few?
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, what it basically leads to is the destruction of the family unit, right? It leads women to not being happy. It leads women to down a road that isn't necessarily productive to their, long-term fulfillment in life. Because a lot of girls, we can take like women that work in sex work, for example, right?
Well, sex work is different than promiscuous. Someone wanting to get fucked is not the same thing as someone who sells their body. So I have to disagree with you on that point.
Actually, that's the definition. A woman that's a sex worker is literally the definition of being promiscuous. Her job,
a lot of women
requires
that
her
are
to be
doing it for
promiscuous.
money. They're doing it for money. They don't care.
So you think if it's for money, it changes it?
Yeah, I do. I think if a woman likes to have sex, that she should be allowed to do it. But if a woman sells her body, that's a totally different topic. Apples and oranges for me. It's a totally different thing.
No, they're pretty much the same because it has the same effect.
But that's just our opinion.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is I don't. That's a distinction without a difference, right? Like whether they're a paid sex worker or doing it for free is still problematic on both ends. Right,
okay,
and I don't think that that's conducive to a better and thriving society. To have women be basically selling their bodies, and the problem here, right? The real big problem is we all know that prostitution is the oldest profession in the world, but the problem now is we incentivize and we monetize.
People that drive loud cars like that are really insecure.
People
they want attention, but I still disagree with you on that point.
We incentivize and monetize promiscuity in women. And now we have this OnlyFans culture where not only are young people want to be influencers, but young women think, oh, I don't need to go to school. I don't need to do this. I can go ahead and just sell feet pictures on the side or be a sugar baby.
But that's a small percentage of women. Most women aren't selling themselves. And you're still creating a smokescreen. A woman who likes to have sex is not the same as someone who's selling themselves, which is, again, a small percentage of the population.
I would argue that if you take sugar dating, selling feet pictures, monetizing on Instagram to a degree and, having your profile up with a Cash App in it, most attractive women, modern women, to some degree has done some kind of sex work, whether it's overtly or covertly.
Where do you get that stat? That most attractive
Well, you're never
going to
find a study like that because the study board,
so
the people that run these
not
studies.
True.
No,
what you're saying is not true.
Here's the thing: you're not going to get studies on everything, right? Sometimes
I know, but you brought up a study and it's not true.
I didn't bring up a study at all.
Yeah, you did. You said most women that are attractive are on OnlyFans and stuff like that.
Yes,
okay, where's the evidence to back that up?
No. Here's the thing: you're not going to get a study on something like that because that would be considered unethical.
Why would you bring it up then?
Because I'm telling you, right?
Yeah.
After me talking to well over 3,500 to almost 4,000 women, meeting women from all the different parts of the world.
I didn't hear him start. 3,500 to 1,000 women?
It's 36?
And what percentage of the American women in the population? 125, 150 million? So you don't even have 1/10 of 1%.
No.
That you're calling slut
Can I finish
shaming.
my point before you, come in and, simp for the girls?
I'm sorry, what? I did not hear you. Wait, when I come in and what for the girls?
Yeah, simping for the girls. If I can go ahead and finish my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because you've interrupted me several times. Actually, you know what? Give your position and I'll respond to you. How about that?
What's that?
Go ahead and give your position and I'll respond to that.
Okay, so you say that the modern marriage is falling apart?
Yes.
And you think it's because of promiscuity?
It's a component.
Well, okay, let's look at the other side. What about marriage is boring, okay? It gets to be a drag after a while. What about people as they get older, they're less attractive, and they get sick of their mate, and they want to do something exciting. Their mate gets fat, or they don't take care of their hygiene, or they just become a boring shithead. Then what? Should you stay with them and be miserable if they won't change? That's one thing. Another thing is, too, what difference does it make if a woman sleeps with 100, 200 men, but when you get to them, let's say she's out of that phase and she doesn't want to do that anymore, and she wants to get married, it's a different moment. Like, you're in a different moment. Why would that be wrong? I mean, if someone told you you can't, not you, but a male, that you can't sleep around because society thinks it's wrong, would you say, oh yeah, sure, let me just quit because you think so? That's not right.
Okay,
And this is,
so,
I think, just to get like a rise out of people. I don't think, do you really believe that?
yeah.
Really saying that?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of cruel, don't you think?
It's the reality. I mean,
No, it's your
men-
reality. It's not
oh,
mine, you know.
okay.
It's like
So,
most
all right,
men,
let's,
do most men feel that way. You
man,
think
here
it's
we
okay
go.
to call women sluts if they want to sleep around? And you have the guts to answer, or you just want to be quiet? That's what I thought.
No,
Okay.
so it's actually interesting because what you're
What's
doing
wrong with a
right
man
now,
being a slut?
right? What you're
Okay.
doing right now, right,
What's that?
is precisely what I'm critical of. You are reinforcing bad female behavior.
Why is that bad female behavior? They get up in the morning, right? And they want to have sex.
Let's
and
address
what
some
should
of
they
the
do?
points
Just
that you
sit in
made
the bed
before.
and
All right,
just
let's address
hope
some of the
that
points you made before.
Mr. Right comes along?
So first you made a claim, because you made a couple of different claims. I kind of want to go one by one here. So
Okay.
the first you said they're bored in their relationship. Who are we talking about?
50% of American women who get divorced, they're bored in their relationship.
Okay.
They're sick of the same guy every day, the same stupid stores, the same fuck.
Okay.
They're sick of them. They want to move on.
So do you think it's justified to end a relationship because you're bored, or end a
No,
marriage?
I think what you
on a
do is
marriage?
give your mate an opportunity, and you tell them, "Listen, I'm not happy with you. You're boring. You don't cut the hairs out of your nose. We just sit around doing the same stupid shit every day. Let's do something different." And the mate won't change. Then yeah, you have the right to leave them. Or if you're not turned on by them anymore, let's say you're just sick of them. Why
Okay.
shouldn't you be able to move on if you give them an opportunity to change, and they won't change?
Okay, so you're putting the blame on the men for why the women leave and
No,
get
no, no,
bored.
no. I'm putting the blame on both. It's a two-way street. The divorce is
It
50%.
actually isn't. Women initiate about 80% of the divorces.
It's
So
actually 67%.
no,
Go
it's
ahead.
it's
No, it's not.
between
I'm
70
a
and
paralegal.
80%.
I work in that department.
Well, you're not a lawyer. Literally, it's literally between 70 to 80% of divorces are
Where'd you
initiated
get those stats?
by women. Bro, there's literally statistics on divorces.
I know,
all
and I've
across the
read them.
country.
I'm asking
and
you.
even if we do, even if we use your number of 67%, it's still the majority that women that end the relationships. Men typically don't end relationships or marriages.
I
It's
agree with
women-
you. The
it's women
majority
that
of
do.
divorces are
So-
because of women, because
and-
they're sick of it.
And then the other thing too, your justification for ending it being boredom. I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's a worthy reason to back out on the agreement you guys made before God. So
people back out of agreements all the time.
Yeah,
You were just talking
well-
about nations and doing things. Okay, people change their mind all the time.
Marriage is supposed to be a religious bond between two people becoming one. If you listen to most religions, like especially within Christianity, they don't accept divorce. So again,
But Jesus
I
said it was
think-
okay to divorce.
I think
Jesus said in the Bible it's
Hold on,
okay to
man, hold on.
divorce.
the thing I'm trying to tell you is being bored is not a justification for women to break marriages and disrupt families, because we live in a that reinforces bad female behavior, where we tell women you should be happy no matter what, fuck your obligations and your duty with marriage. And the thing is that women want to get married, but they don't want to be wives. That's the problem.
No, half do.
And we've
do want to be
removed-
wise, and half don't.
We've removed all the institutions that used to keep women in place and keep them modest. Because now, kind of like you're doing now, we encourage women to be hoes. And I
I'm
think
not
that's a
encouraging
problem.
anyone to do anything. What I'm saying is, if a woman wants to have sex with a lot of guys,
Yes, you're
she has that
enabling.
right to do it. And
You're
if a girl
you're
doesn't
enabling
want
it.
to, she values the
And we should
relationship
not-
more,
and
she
my-
should be able to do
And
it.
my point is, we should not be doing that.
Why not?
We
Who's
should
getting
not be
hurt?
doing that.
What's the damage?
No, we should not be doing that.
Why are women getting divorced? Because their wives are promiscuous? No, they're getting
Feminism-
divorced because they're sick of each other.
Promiscuity within feminism is the reason why the nuclear family has been tarnished, and the degradation of the nuclear family destroys the society. So it's a
No, it's-
domino effect.
people
Like
are-
for you look at it, because here's the problem. You're looking at it from a very birth control pill, no fault divorce, etc. All
but
of
that did
these
a lot of
different-
good. The 60s, the
I-
revolution did a lot of good.
I
People opened their
disagree.
mind. People got to that 50s mentality. People were having a good, enjoying life. Then they went, it's like the pendulum swings. Pendulum swings both ways.
I disagree with that, because like I said before, women nowadays don't have much to show for it. Why is it that despite the fact that they've made more money, more rights than ever before, more privilege, why are they still depressed? Why are they still sad? Why are women taking
Who said they're
anti-anxiety
depressed?
medication? That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Despite the fact that they have the most liberty ever, depression rates have went up. Using self-medication to, drown out the pain has went up. So
More so
like-
for men. More men are depressed than women. More men commit suicide
actually,
than women.
yes, but
Another insecure little bitch.
Yes,
wants
yes,
attention.
but-
Go ahead.
Yes, but the point I'm trying to make here is that women get more prescription drugs to help with their sadness,
No, no.
right? And a
Oh,
lot of
that's
that
right.
comes-
Okay, you know
Yeah.
why that is? Because women have the guts, if they need help, to go get it. A man will rot in the street. He's too tough to go take some medicine. They will not get therapy. A woman will get therapy before a man and a medicine before men.
Yeah,
How many
but-
guys try to tough shit out?
That's cool. That's cool. That's not my point that they're getting the therapy. I'm analyzing why they get the therapy. And again, despite the fact that they have all the benefits of equality and they're still able to double dip and get the benefits of being a woman, they're still reporting lower levels of life satisfaction.
Did you
That's
say
the reality.
double dip to get
Lower
the
le-
advantages of being a woman?
Yes.
Did you know that 57%
double
of
dip.
all doctors now are women? Women are skyrocketing
That-
in AI
that
and the
proves my
intelligence
point.
agencies.
Wait.
Who says they're not happy?
You gotta listen to me, man.
I am listening.
'Cause when I say double dip, what I mean by that is, on one end, they could pursue a career and behave like a man. Fine. But on the other hand, they could say, you know what? I elect to leave the workforce and I want to be a stay-at-home mom. They have the choice to do either or.
No, there's a
So they're
third
able-
option.
so-
Work and take care of the kids and still be happy.
Fantastic. So they have three options, which what I'm trying to explain here is despite having all these options, they're still using medication. They're still having higher levels of life dissatisfaction. So that's my point, is that despite the progression socially, they're still reporting high levels of dissatisfaction. That's
Right,
my point.
but you do know
And
that
then-
20% of women have been
and I
molested
guess-
as children, right?
and I guess
so
we could
maybe
be at an
there's another
impasse here.
reason besides
'Cause
divorce or promiscuity.
You're thinking them being bored is a justification. That's fine. I disagree with that.
I'm just saying, it seems
then you mentioned-
narrow-minded and mean. Like, I
and
don't
then-
care what anyone does unless it's like really horrible. I'm not going to put a sign up here and call them a slut. You know?
Okay. And then you also mentioned something about the hoe phase for women, right?
I didn't say
why-
anything about hoe phase. I said if they're going through a phase where they like to
you
sleep
said, why is
around.
it wrong?
You called it a hoe phase. I did not call it a hoe
Well,
phase.
you said if they go through
No,
a phase.
I said if they're going through a phase, they want to sleep around. What's wrong with that? If
That's-
they change
that's
one
called
day
a hoe phase.
and they want a relationship.
That's defined as a hoe phase.
Not to me. It means having a good time and enjoy life. You call it a hoe. I call it having a good time. Just like men.
Okay.
It's a two-way street. The man fucks the woman, right?
Yeah.
So the men, why aren't the men? If you call a man
Okay.
a slut, that's okay.
That's fine.
Let's not.
For intensive purposes, so people understand, you're okay with women having a hoe phase. Fine.
No, I'm okay with women sleeping with who they want as long as no one's getting hurt, no one's getting a disease, they're not getting paid for it. It's okay for me. I don't care.
Progressives refuse to use the English language directly. That's fine.
What's that?
You don't like the term. That's fine. I'm gonna call it a hoe phase because that's what it is. Where
I
a
have
woman
two daughters. I
has
don't
a
like
period
to
of
call
time.
them hoes. Yeah.
Look, man, if we're gonna have a conversation, we don't have to be on some moral, virtue signaling stuff. You don't want to use that
virtue
term. That's
signals,
fine.
in my opinion. I
use
just
the
told
term.
you have two daughters. It's
That's
not
fine.
virtue signaling.
I'll use the term then. You're making the argument that what's so wrong with a woman going through a hoe phase? The problem with that is when a woman has a lot of different sexual partners,
Mm-hmm.
what's up happening is they get this mindset of the grass is greener on the other side. And the more men that they've slept with and the more men they are with, what's up happening is they have a bigger body of work to compare the men that they're with against. That is not good. Because
Wait, if they have a bigger body to compare against and they choose the guy, he must be better than all the guys they fucked. So he's on top of the hill.
Well, that would see. Here's the thing. That's assuming women are logically sound. They're not. See,
No,
like,
women are more logical than men. Who starts most of the fights? Who shoots most of the people? Who stabs and reacts? It's fucking men, you know? Who makes the best? Who caught Osama bin Laden? A woman, okay? Women are way smarter than men when it comes to logic. Don't be ridiculous. Men are better scientists, but women are smarter when it comes to logic.
Okay, that's not true, but that's fine. Regardless, because you're coming at it from a perspective like, oh, they should be logically sound. They've had 100 partners. If they find a nice guy, they should pick the nice guy because this nice guy is better than these 100 guys. But
Wait, why can't they pick an asshole? They don't have to pick a nice
here's the
guy.
thing.
They can pick a dick.
Here's the thing. Yeah, you're assuming women are rationally sound, logically sound creatures.
Yes,
The problem
I
is they're
am.
not.
Yes.
Let me explain what I mean by this. There's a reason why the phrase "nice guys finish last" is a thing. The reason why is because a girl will have a guy that does everything that he's supposed to do. Nice guy, works, treats her like a princess, pedestalizes her, whatever. What does she do? You said it earlier. She gets bored. Well, we know that women are far more likely to get bored in relationships than men. And they're more likely to end a relationship than a man. So the problem is
In a marriage.
relationships and marriages, regardless,
Oh, okay.
right? So, and women are far more likely to get bored in a relationship. So my argument is when she has a bigger
Because they're
body
less
of work,
logical? I say they're more logical. And
They're
they have more
not.
guts.
They're
They'll
less.
say, hey, fuck you,
They're
I'm
less.
sick of you, I'm moving on.
they're less.
Again, it's an opinion. You know, it's an opinion. You have your opinion, I have mine, okay? If you're bored, let's say you were married and you're sick of your wife and everything you do to get her to change, she just won't do it. You're just going to stay there and be miserable? You're going to find another woman.
In general, most men would keep their wife.
I'm asking you what you would do if you were sick of your wife.
What I would do is irrelevant. I'm speaking in general here. Most men would stay. There's a reason why, another famous phrase, it's cheaper to keep her. Most guys are not going to go ahead and file a divorce on their wife unless she's doing something horrible. It's the women that initiate.
I know that. Again, you are correct.
Going back to the whole body of work thing. Look, like, I'll give you an example, right? If I had sex with 100 girls, right, and I find one girl that's awesome, and I compare that one girl that's awesome to the body of work of the 100 girls that I've had sex with, that makes me better as a man, because now I realize, oh, this girl's good. She knows what she's doing. She's not a 304. She serves me. She submits to me. She obeys me. Fine.
I will value. Obeys you. Okay, so when you come home, she puts a red carpet out and blows trumpets.
Yes.
Makes you meals.
And feeds me
grapes.
Being miserable. And feeds me grapes. Yes. Okay. So I am able to appreciate that. But on the other hand, with women, when they have 100 partners, they get the nice guy that comes in and kind of saves them at the end. They're going to be bored with that guy, because all these men that they hooked up with that were the Chads and the Alphas and the good-looking guys or whatever that gave them that excitement, they're not getting that anymore.
How do you know? You say that all women are dorks that can't fuck them well and can't take them on vacations and change the way they have their attitude? That's ridiculous to assume that every guy that gets married is a nice guy. If men are doing that, they're pussies. What I'm trying to explain
is when men have a body of work with their sexuality, we are able to better discern a good partner for us, because as men, we're the ones that come with the skin in the game. For women, however,
women don't have skin in the game. What if you meet a millionaire woman who's a doctor and she has plenty of money, and you're not you, but one's a loser. He's a fucking and he marries
that millionaire woman you just mentioned, she's still gonna want a guy that makes about 67% more than her.
No, she doesn't. I know a lot of women that have money and don't give a fuck. The ones with money.
If we can't even agree on biological facts that women want a guy who's better than them in every regards, and her social status has nothing to do with what the guy has, and if anything, it's gonna increase her standards. If we can't even agree on that,
some women do want men with money. Some women do.
Majority.
But what I was saying is, what about the woman who has money?
The guy's got to make significantly more than she does.
I'm saying, what if a woman has money? She doesn't always want someone who has a higher status than her. She may want someone who's on the same level, higher or lower. There's a whole bunch of different options, not just one.
Well, again, that assumes that they're being logically sound and rational. Women get turned on by different things. They put men in different roles. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So again, my argument from what I said before is, when they have their body of work, okay, and they can have this grass is greener on the other side mentality, well, they're going to be more apt to leave their guy. And we have the numbers to show this. Women that marry as virgins are far more likely to stay within their marriage. Women with lower body counts.
You got to be kidding me.
Yes.
You know what she's really thinking? I wish I'd fuck all these other guys, and now I'm alone and miserable with this fuck brain, and I want someone else.
There's family data that shows that the lower a woman's sexual partner history, the higher the likelihood that marriage is going to last, because it comes back to the theory I just gave you, where less body of work means less comparisons, less grass is greener on the other side mentality, and it kind of diffuses the problem that we have with social media. Another big problem is the internet and social media and our connectivity, because when women are able to talk to and speak to and get offers from higher status men, well, Tom, that's a good guy, right, that makes $50K per year, all of a sudden he's not as attractive. And we know this because
I know plenty of women that fall in love and have their partner, and they don't say, "Oh, a guy coming along with money, I'm leaving you." I don't. Sometimes that happens, because I think the woman married for the wrong reasons. She marries a guy that she's not happy with. She settles, like most people, and then finally she leaves when something better comes along. That is true that does happen.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's the majority of women. You just said it was a 50% divorce rate.
No.
So it'd be 50-50.
What I'm saying is that it's very simple. Women are more likely to end relationships. Women are more likely to get bored. Women are more likely to be able to find a replacement after the relationship. And on top of that, we have social media, the internet, dating apps. We have all these different things in play that afford women a multitude of options romantically. So what this has done is it's made average women have extraordinary reach, okay, and connectivity with higher status men. Women are hypergamous. If they can get a higher status guy and they have access to a higher status guy, they will go for the higher status guy and forego the nice guy that makes 30, 50K per year, who could be a good suitor. And this is what happens, where women will have all these options and they will think that they can do better. That's how they are.
But let me ask you, if you're going to go get married, are you going to pick an ugly, disgusting human being, or are you going to pick someone who you're attracted to? What's wrong? If you're going to pick someone unattractive, or are you going to pick someone that turns you
From
on?
the female or male perspective.
I said, if you were going to get married, we're going to get married, would you pick someone who's unattractive and doesn't do it for you?
We're talking about women. My personal wants and needs in a partner is completely, that has nothing to do with the conversation at hand. I'm explaining to you how women may select in modern day society and why that is problematic.
I know, I got you. What I'm saying is just because we have different ways of choosing people doesn't mean you choosing a woman because she's attractive is better than a woman choosing a man because he has money. And I'm saying that's probably the minimum. Maybe you see it around here, a lot of sugar babies, but in the real world elsewhere, I think at least half of the women will marry someone because they care about him or they want to be with him or they settle. I think it's something like that. And yes, you're right. There are women out there that marry men for their money. But that doesn't mean that because we have different ways of looking at things, the end game isn't the same. You marry someone who you're attracted to, you want to be happy to, whether it's the looks for men or money for women or whatever the choice is, or a mental connection, You're going to pick someone you want to be with. And now people are living to be 70, 80, 90. That's a big commitment,
Yeah, I think you're kind of oversimplifying the problem and you're not really seeing my position on it because, like,
I do see
you're
your
using
position.
you're using the male lens of attraction when the male lens of attraction is significantly different than the female lens of attraction. So in
know.
other words,
I know. I
men-
agree with you.
Yeah, so
100%.
yeah, so I'm focusing on the women where their standards are too high.
Are you talking about heterosexual marriages?
No,
About
I'm-
heterosexual.
No, I'm talking about women in general. Their
right,
standards
so
are too
women
high.
in general.
Their standards are too
Whose
high.
standards too high? Hers?
Okay.
Hers?
Oh,
How do
God.
you know their standards too high?
Average women,
Mm-hmm.
okay, no longer want average men. And that's created a rift where average women
Mm-hmm.
and are now chasing pinnacle level men. But the problem is that pinnacle level men
Mm-hmm.
don't want to commit to average women. And then the average guys are left out in the dust. This is how it goes. Since the beginning of time, a majority of women have been able to procreate while men have not. So this has been an issue through human species forever. What I'm saying now is we were able to go ahead and have this traditional conservative, nuclear family lifestyle for a while. But now with the deregulation of dating, okay, and where we are now, and the immersion of technology, feminism, birth control, all these other social constructs, women
I know,
now,
we beat that horse to death.
yeah,
I'm just trying to say there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
you know?
It's incredibly important to understand
I do
that all
understand.
these factors have created the current environment where we have now, where women are more concerned with chasing a career, making
Mm-hmm.
money, having fun, as you would say, over pursuing a child and a family. The reason this is bad is because women take their prime years in their 20s to basically be sluts. And what ends up
Why do
happening
you say
is,
that? What are you going
and
to
what
say
ends
that?
up
Why do
happening?
you say that? I told
Okay,
you
you're
I had
getting
two
triggered
daughters.
by the
Why
words.
would you call a girl a slut because she don't sleep around?
They take that time to be sluts, and that impacts their ability to find a long-term partner.
If you have a daughter one day and someone calls her a slut, she wants to sleep around, she doesn't follow daddy's advice, that's not going to bother you? If
No.
you have a daughter and she fucks 100, 200 guys, and someone on the street like you is calling her a slut, you're going to say, oh, that's cool. Yeah, she's a slut. We're good with that. You're good
Yeah,
with that?
I would. I would be okay
then
with it.
You'll be a
Because-
horrible father, and your daughter will hate you forever.
No, because here's the problem. We're more willing to tell women comforting truths over uncomfortable lies. Okay? Like
That's true. That's true.
And that's a
We're-
problem.
But that's with not just women. It's everything, whether it's politics, women, money, people getting run over by trucks, whatever it is. Nobody wants to see a lot of the truth because it bothers them. And if it doesn't fit the way they think, they move on or they hurt somebody or they freak out,
Yeah, but the key distinction is that we lie to women and we overtly do it all the time and don't tell them what's going
Women
to
don't
happen.
lie to men.
Well, no, because
You're too
here's the
one-sided,
difference.
man. You're too
Here's the
angry.
difference. No,
like all
I'm angry.
like what's that ugly bald-headed guy that
Let
runs
me-
women in Romania?
Let me explain this.
You're just too mean.
Here's the
Too mean.
difference. Here's the difference. If I'm a loser as a man,
I didn't say you're a loser.
no, not me. I'm saying in general.
Oh, well, what's a loser?
In general, lower status, not in shape, not attractive, not charismatic, bad speaker. Maybe I
Right.
smell.
Who would
okay.
want you? You're right. I got it.
Fantastic. I will deal with real world consequences for being a loser. In other words, I will not have the ability to mate with the opposite gender. Women, however, and this is very important.
Wait, hold. That's wrong. The base is wrong. All you do is stop eating, exercise, dress better, have good hygiene, socialize, get a different job,
Yes.
to learn AI,
Yes.
be a lawyer, doctor,
Yes.
and you'll be okay.
Yes.
What woman wants? If you, like you said before, average women get average men, but they want to step up.
Okay, let me finish
That's
my
not-
point.
Okay.
I am not disputing the fact that you can self-improve. I'm not disputing that. I'm telling you that if a man's the loser, he deals with consequences.
But how he deals with the consequence determines whether he stays a fucking loser or he becomes something worthwhile.
That's my point. He either chooses to step it up, right? He either steps it up and gets a partner, or he stays where he's at and stays an incel.
No, he can settle. He could go to Denny's or someplace and find someone just like him. You know, he could be a loser.
He won't. That's the precise.
No, that's what most people do.
He won't.
Most people settle.
He won't.
In that position. People that are losers, they give up and they settle. That's what most people in that position do.
Now let's use your own analogy then. You said he could go to Denny's and find a girl, right? He could go to Denny's and find a girl on the same
Or
level.
the Waffle House.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
Here's the difference. That girl that's at the Waffle House isn't going to go for him because that girl at the Waffle House has access to men that are millionaires via Instagram.
Most men aren't going to Waffle House to look for women.
She's
you ever
not
gone
doing
to their Denny's? No, you're wrong. I'm sorry. I disagree with you. You're completely wrong.
Okay.
Everyone wants to step up in the world.
Yeah.
You know? And if you fail, you fail. You know?
Again, I'll say it simply. If you're a man and you're a loser, you deal with consequences. If you're a woman and you're a loser, you don't deal with consequences.
Why not? Why can't a woman lose weight, get in shape? I've seen a lot of ugly women with awesome bodies, you know, and they have good-looking men.
No matter how ugly, fat, annoying a female is, she will still find a simp for her. Doesn't work the other way around.
What?
A simp for her.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Every man's not a simp. And if you look in this city, there's a lot of guys that like chunky women, you know. Doesn't make them a simp. There you go. So, I mean, just because you want a chunky woman,
you're talking on a mic right now proves my point, which is the issue with everything.
If you're a desperate bitch and you suck up to a woman, you're a simp. But if you're a man and you're confident and you dress well and you do the best you can in life, you will probably excel much better.
Are you aware of the fact that an average-looking girl has more access to higher status men than a higher status man has to regular
Look
girls?
around in all these bars, the hottest women, okay? The average women are not with really good-looking guys and rich guys. They're just not. The guys here that are all successful, they're walking around with 9s, 8s, 10s. Just go look over in the bars. Look at the hottest women and look at the guys they're with.
What I'm telling you is that women, the thing you're missing here is that average women have more sexual access than men do.
Because there's a lot of desperate guys who'll just fuck anything. Correct.
Sure.
I agree.
So, I think it's
and
very
good for
important.
them. Good for the women that are
That's
average,
fine.
that someone's fucking them, so they're
fine.
not frustrated
But
anymore.
I need you to understand that the fact that they have all this access and all these options directly dictates how they deal with the opposite gender. I'll give you an example. If you had two girlfriends who were hot, who were always around.
If I had two girlfriends at once.
Yes, if you had two
women that I'm sleeping with or two girls that I care about.
Whatever you want them to do.
That would not happen. I would want a steady relationship or a peace, not both. You know.
Let's assume you had this, right? You were getting all your needs met with women or whatever. But you said, you know what? I want to go on a date with a girl. Yeah, I want to switch it up. Would you tolerate bad behavior from that girl?
What?
Would you tolerate bad behavior from this girl you go on a first date with?
Prior to me coming along or while I was with
No,
her?
you got your girl at home.
Yeah.
You get a hall pass for the day.
Yeah.
And you go out with this other girl. Would you tolerate bad behavior from that female?
You mean if we're just hooking up or if we're in a relationship?
Well, you're on the first date and she's being a bitch. Well, would you tolerate
She's
that?
being rude to me on the
Yes,
first date?
yes.
I'm going to say, listen, what are you being rude for? I'm going to call her out. So why are you being rude?
Okay.
You know? But she wouldn't be rude to me because I'm so colorful and wonderful.
Yeah, that's fine. The point I'm trying to make is that you wouldn't tolerate it because you have a woman at home. Okay?
Oh, you mean if I was cheating on my girlfriend?
I just said you would have a
You said if I have a woman at home, but I'm going out with a new girl, another insecure bitch.
I literally said you had a hall pass.
He wants attention.
I literally said you have a hall pass in the
What's that?
I literally said you have a hall pass in the experiment
Oh, this is an experiment. So I've got a girlfriend at home, and I'm out cheating with someone else. She's being a bitch. And do I stay on the date? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
No, because I
You
wouldn't be cheating if she's my girlfriend. But if she's just a hookup, yes, I'd be with someone else.
So you would tolerate far less?
No, I wouldn't. If she was fucking being a bitch, I would leave the date.
All right, who's next in the line?
Okay, fine. Hey.
Who's next?
You're really sweet. I appreciate it.
What the